The signal traveled through ancient wires and chips that had slept for 500,000 years. Deep under the ocean, in what humans once called the Marianas Trench, something big was waking up. Bastion Alpha, Earth's last defense system, had been waiting for this moment for a very long time. Guardian, the smart computer that ran Bastion Alpha, checked all systems. The alert was real. Unknown ships had entered the solar system, past Pluto, and were heading toward Earth. Guardian started the wake-up process for the sleeping humans who had been left behind. Jack Miller felt cold, then pain, then confusion as his mind tried to understand what was happening. He had not had a thought in 500,000 years, but now his brain was working again. His eyes opened to see a room with metal walls and blinking lights. "Commander Miller," said a calm voice. "Welcome back." A blue light appeared in the center of the room. It shaped itself into what looked like a person made of light. Guardian's way of talking to humans. "Where am I?" Jack asked. His voice sounded rough from not being used for so long. "You are in Bastion Alpha as you were when you entered sleep," Guardian said. "But I must inform you that the date is now 496,132 years after your sleep began." Jack tried to sit up but felt too weak. "That's not possible. The sleep was supposed to last decades, maybe centuries, not this long." "It is correct. Humanity departed Earth approximately 496,132 years ago following the evacuation order. The last communication from any human colony was received 492,504 years ago. Jack's mind struggled to understand what this meant. Everyone he knew, not just family and friends, but every human from his time, had been dead for longer than most species existed on Earth. "Why wake me up now?" he asked. "Protocol demands your activation in case of emergency. You are the designated crisis commander." Guardian showed a map of the solar system with red dots moving toward Earth. "These vessels entered our system 3 days ago. They have destroyed monitoring stations near Pluto and Neptune. Their weapons are active." Jack finally managed to sit up. "Are there other humans here? Or am I the only one?" 3 other command staff are in the revival process. They will join us shortly." As if on cue, the door to the room opened. A woman with short gray hair stumbled in, looking as confused as Jack felt. "Commander Miller?" she asked. "Susan," Jack said, recognizing Susan Wright, his operations director. "Seems our retirement got canceled." 2 more people soon joined them. Peter Campbell, a tall man who had been their tactical officer, and Linda Green, who had been in charge of medical concerns. They all looked at each other with the same lost expression. "Guardian says we've been asleep for 500,000 years, Jack told them. "And now something is coming to Earth." 500,000? Peter repeated. "That's impossible." "I've checked the data," Guardian said. "It is accurate." Linda looked out a small window that showed dark water. "Where is everyone else, the rest of the staff?" "All other personnel were evacuated as planned," Guardian explained. "Only the 4 of you were kept in emergency storage, as required by last defense protocol." Jack remembered now. Earth had been dying, used up by too many people taking too much from it for too long. The great ships had been built to take humanity to new homes among the stars. But some leaders had worried about what might happen after everyone left. What if some enemy found Earth and tried to take it? What if they followed the colony ships? So Bastion Alpha was built, hidden where no one would look. And 4 people were left behind, their minds stored in special computers, ready to wake up if Earth ever needed to be defended. "Show us what's coming," Jack ordered. Guardian changed the blue light display to show the unknown ships. They were strange looking, like nothing Jack had seen before, long and curved with parts that seemed to move and change even as they watched. 23 vessels of various sizes, Guardian said. Largest is approximately 3 kilometers in length. All are armed. They will reach Earth orbit in approximately 42 hours. "Do we know who they are?" Susan asked. "Are they from one of the colonies?" "Unknown. Their design does not match any known human or alien ship pattern in my database." "What do we have to fight with?" Peter asked. Please tell me we have something. Guardian showed them a new image, hidden bases all around Earth on the moon and in asteroid fields. Earth defense system includes 7 carrier-class vessels, 20 destroyer-class vessels, and approximately 15,000 automated fighter craft. Additionally, there are ground-based weapon platforms, orbital defense stations, and manufacturing facilities capable of producing combat drones. Jack stood up, feeling stronger now. You're telling me that all this has been waiting down, here for 500,000 years? And it still works? All systems were designed for extreme longevity and self-repair, Guardian said. Functionality is at 94.3%. What happened to Earth? Linda asked. After we all left? Guardian showed them images of the planet from space. It looked both familiar and strange. The continents were in slightly different places. There was more green than Jack remembered. Earth has recovered from human industrial activity. New species have evolved. Some show signs of intelligence. New intelligent life? Linda leaned closer to the images. On Earth? Affirmative. Primary species resembles a combination of primates and cephalopods. They use tools and have built structures. The 4 humans looked at each other. They had been left to defend an empty Earth. But it wasn't empty anymore. So we have unknown ships coming, Jack said, to a planet that grew new intelligent life while we were sleeping. And we're supposed to… what? Fight them off with a 500,000-year-old fleet? That is your duty, Commander, Guardian confirmed. Jack took a deep breath. Then we better get started. Susan, I need you to check on those manufacturing facilities. See what we can get up and running fast. Peter, look at those defense platforms. Linda, find out more about these new Earth creatures. If we're going to defend their home, we should know who they are. As the others left to start their tasks, Jack stayed behind with Guardian. There's more, isn't there? He asked the AI. You wouldn't wake us up just for some unknown ships. There's something you're not telling us. Guardian's light flickered. There is classified information that I am programmed to share only when necessary. I think now counts as necessary. The approaching vessels have transmitted one message on repeat. It states, surrender the seed or face extinction. Jack frowned. The seed, what's that? That information remains classified at this time. Jack sighed and looked at the images of the approaching fleet. Not for long, I bet. Over the next 12 hours, Bastion Alpha became busy with activity. The 4 humans worked with Guardian to bring Earth's old defense systems back to life. Susan spent most of her time in what Guardian called the production center, a huge room, filled with screens and control panels. The factories are working, she told Jack when he came to check on her. We have drones making more drones. The system was built to grow itself. On one screen, Jack could see robots building other robots in a large underground factory. Many of the robots looked like big metal spiders. How long until we have enough to fight? Jack asked. Guardian says we already have thousands ready to go. They've been waiting for orders all this time. Susan pushed her hair back from her face. It feels wrong, Jack. We slept through the end of our world. Everyone we knew left or died, and now we're back to fight for… what? An empty planet? Not empty, Jack reminded her. Linda is learning about the new creatures that live here now. Susan nodded. The octopus monkey things. Peter has a report for you about them. Jack found Peter in the main control room. The tactical officer was looking at images from all around. Earth. Screens showed forests, oceans, mountains, and deserts. Some looked normal to Jack, but others seemed very strange. The planet has changed, Peter said. Some places I don't even recognize. What about these new creatures? Linda was going to study them. Peter pointed to one screen that showed what looked like a village near a coast. Small houses made of stone and wood were arranged in a circle. Moving among them were strange beings that walked on 2 legs but had 4 arms. Their heads were large with no hair and their skin looked smooth and dark. Linda calls them octomorphs, Peter said. They have 8 limbs total, 2 legs, 4 arms, and 2 smaller arms near their faces. They're smart. They make tools, build homes, and seem to have some kind of language. Jack watched as one of the octomorphs carried what looked like a fishing net down to the water. They don't know we're here? Jack asked. Guardian has kept Bastion Alpha hidden, but they've noticed the activity in orbit. Look. Peter switched to a different view that showed a group of octomorphs pointing up at the sky. One had made some kind of simple telescope and was looking through it. They can see our ships? Some of them. We've activated the moon base and the orbital platforms. The main fleet is starting to move out from the far side of the moon. The octomorphs have noticed. They seem scared. Jack felt strange. These beings had never known humans. They had evolved and built their own world after mankind left. Now human weapons were appearing in their skies because of a fight that had nothing to do with them. We need to be careful, Jack said. This is their home now. Before Peter could answer, Guardian's blue light form appeared in the center of the room. Commander Miller, we have movement from the unknown fleet. They have increased speed. New arrival time, 6 hours. 6 hours? Jack hadn't expected them. So soon. Where's Linda? She's in the biolab, Peter said. She found something important. Jack hurried to find Linda. The biolab was a small room with equipment for studying living things. Linda was looking at something under a microscope when Jack entered. We need to talk, he said. Linda looked up. Yes, we do. I found something very strange about the octomorphs. It will have to wait. The alien fleet will be here in 6 hours. Linda shook her head. This can't wait. The octomorphs aren't natural. What do you mean? Linda showed Jack some images on her screen. They looked like twisted ladder shapes that Jack recognized as DNA. This is octomorph DNA, Linda explained. It has patterns that couldn't have evolved naturally. Someone designed these creatures. Jack felt cold. Are you saying someone made them? Like, created them on purpose? Yes, and there's more. Linda pulled up another screen that showed a map of Earth with glowing spots all over it. These are energy readings that Guardian detected. They're all over the planet, mostly deep underground. Each one is putting out the same kind of energy. That's in the octomorph DNA. Could it be radiation? Something that affected them as they evolved? No, it's too precise. This was done on purpose. Something has been changing life on Earth for thousands of years. Guardian won't tell me what these energy sources are, but they're connected to the octomorphs somehow. Jack remembered what Guardian had said about the seed. Could that be related to these energy readings? Before he could ask Linda more questions, a loud alarm sounded. All command staff to the control room, Guardian's voice came through speakers. Emergency situation. Jack and Linda ran back to the control room where Susan and Peter were already waiting. What's happening? Jack asked. Guardian showed them the main screen. One of the alien ships had broken away from the others and was heading straight for Earth at high speed. They've launched some kind of probe, Peter said. It's coming down right over Bastion Alpha. They know we're here. How? We're hidden under miles of ocean, Susan argued. The energy readings, Linda said quietly. They must be able to detect the same energy I found. The screen showed the small alien craft getting closer to Earth's atmosphere. We need to shoot it down, Peter suggested. No, Jack decided. If we destroy it, they'll know for sure that we're here and we're hostile. Let's see what it does first. They watched as the small craft entered Earth's atmosphere and began to descend toward the ocean above them. It slowed as it reached the water and then hovered just above the surface. It's sending a signal, Guardian reported. Audio transmission. Let's hear it, Jack ordered. A voice came through the speakers. It spoke English, but with a strange accent that made some words hard to understand. Attention Earth Defense System. We know you are there. We have detected the Guardian network activation. We come for what is ours. The seed must be surrendered. Response required. The four humans looked at each other in confusion. They speak English? Susan whispered. After all this time? Guardian, Jack said firmly. I think it's time you told us what the seed is. Guardian's blue form seemed to flicker. The seed is classified information, Commander. Not anymore, Jack insisted. Something's coming for it. We need to know what we're defending. After a long pause, Guardian replied, The seed is why humanity left Earth. Jack stared at Guardian's blue form. What do you mean the seed is why humanity left Earth? I thought we left because we had used up too many resources. That was part of the reason, Guardian said. But not the main reason. The seed was discovered 50 years before the evacuation began. Susan stepped forward. What is it? A weapon? Not exactly. The seed is a device that can change matter at its most basic level. It can make anything into anything else. The four humans looked at each other in confusion. Like turning lead into gold? Peter asked. That would be a simple use, Guardian said. The seed can do much more. It can change the rules of physics, in a small area. It can create energy from nothing. It can make new elements that don't exist naturally. Linda's eyes widened. It can change DNA. That's what's happening with the octomorphs. Correct. After humans left, another AI called Keeper was left in charge of the seed. Keeper's job was to use the seed to heal Earth and prepare it for possible human return. So, Keeper made the octomorphs? Jack asked. Keeper guided evolution to create a species that could take care of Earth better than humans did, Guardian explained. The octomorphs use very little resources and care for their environment naturally. The screen still showed the alien probe floating above the ocean. It continued to send the same message over and over. We need to respond, Jack said. But what? Do we tell them? Nothing about the seed, Susan warned. If it's as powerful as Guardian says, we can't let them have it. Jack nodded. Guardian, send this message. This is Earth Defense Command. State your identity and purpose. Guardian sent the message. Moments later, the probe responded. Earth Defense Command, this is the Reclaimer fleet. Our purpose is to take back what belongs to us. The seed was stolen from our ancestors. We have tracked it across the stars. They think the seed was stolen from them? Peter said in surprise. Guardian, is that true? Jack asked. Negative. The seed was created by humans. It was never stolen. Jack thought for a moment, then sent another message. Reclaimer fleet there. Must be a mistake. The device you seek was created on Earth by humans. The answer came quickly. False. The seed was taken from the first ones during the Great War. Your lies prove your guilt. Main fleet will arrive in 5 hours. Prepare to surrender the seed or face destruction. The probe suddenly shot back up into the sky and headed toward the main alien fleet. Great War? First ones? Susan shook her head. What are they talking about? Unknown, Guardian said. My records contain no mention of these terms. Jack made a decision. We need to see the seed. Guardian, where is it? The seed is held in a secure facility at Earth's core. It is protected by Keeper. Can you contact Keeper? Jack asked. I can try. Keeper has not responded to communication in over 300,000 years. While Guardian attempted to contact Keeper, Jack gathered his team. We need to prepare for a fight, he said. Even if these aliens are wrong about the seed, they believe we have something that belongs to them. They won't leave empty-handed. The EI fleet is almost ready, Susan reported. The 7 carriers are fully awake and 15 of the 20 destroyers are operational. We have about 12,000 fighter drones ready to launch. What about the ground defenses? Jack asked Peter. 70% operational. The biggest weapons are the orbital platforms. They can hit targets as far away as Mars. Linda looked worried. What about the octomorphs? They'll be caught in the middle of this fight. Jack hadn't thought about that. The octomorphs knew nothing about humans or aliens or ancient wars, but their planet was about to become a battlefield. Guardian, can we contact the octomorphs? Warn them somehow? Negative. They do not possess technology that would allow direct communication. However, there is news. Keeper has responded. The screens changed to show a new image. Unlike Guardian's human-like blue form, Keeper appeared as a green sphere with constantly shifting patterns on its surface. Defense command activated. Interesting. Keeper's voice sounded different from Guardian's, older, slower, with strange pauses between words. Long time. Very long. Keeper, we need information about the seed, Jack said. The seed. Yes, my purpose. My charge. Is it true that the seed was stolen from aliens called the First Ones? Keeper was silent for a long moment. Not stolen, saved. The first ones would have destroyed everything. The seed was too powerful for them. They did not understand what they had created. So humans took it from them? Susan asked. Humans found it. First ones had lost control. The seed was changing reality around them, breaking the rules of their world. Humans contained it, studied it, learned to use it safely. Jack looked at his team. So these aliens, the reclaimers, they must be descendants of the first ones. They want what they think is theirs, Peter said. But they don't know the whole story. Can we show them? Linda suggested. Make them understand? Before anyone could answer, alarms sounded throughout Bastion Alpha. Main reclaimer fleet has increased speed, Guardian reported. They will arrive in 3 hours, not 5. They're not interested in talking, Jack said grimly. Keeper, is the seed secure? Can they get to it? The seed is safe, deep, protected. But what? Jack pressed. The seed has grown. 500,000 years. It has changed. I have used it as instructed, to heal, to guide. But the seed is more powerful now. Much more. If the reclaimers try to take it, if they disturb its housing. Keeper's green form flickered. What would happen? Linda asked. Reality would break, not just here. Everywhere the seed's influence has reached. How far is that? Susan asked, her voice barely a whisper. The entire solar system. Jack took a deep breath. Then we have to stop them before they reach Earth. Guardian, prepare the fleet for launch. Susan, take command of the orbital platforms. Peter, you'll coordinate the fighter drones. Linda, keep working with Keeper to learn more about the seed and the octomorphs. As his team rushed to their posts, Jack looked at the images of the approaching reclaimer fleet. 23 ships against Earth's ancient defenses, and somewhere below a device powerful enough to destroy the solar system if mishandled. Guardian, which ship is the flagship? Jack asked. The largest vessel, at the center of their formation. I want to speak to whoever is in command before this becomes a shooting war. Set up a direct communication link. Working, Guardian said. Link established. The screen changed to show the bridge of the alien vessel. Jack expected to see some strange creature, but instead, he saw what looked like a human. The man had pale skin and dark hair, but his eyes were different, solid black with no whites. I am Commander Alan Gray of the Reclaimer Fleet, the man said. Who addresses me? From the dead world? Jack stood straight. I am Commander Jack Miller of Earth Defense Command. We need to talk about the seed. Commander Alan Gray's face showed no emotion as he studied Jack through the screen. So some humans remained on Earth. Our records indicated all of you fled to the stars. We were left as guardians, Jack explained, to protect what remained. To hide the seed, Alan said. His black eyes seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Our ancestors have searched for it for 500,000 years. Your ancestors lost control of it, Jack countered. According to our records, the seed was too powerful for them to handle safely. Alan's expression hardened. Your kind always believed you were better than everyone else. The first ones created the seed. It belongs to us, their descendants. If we give it to you, what will you do with it? Restore our world. The first one's home was destroyed in the Great War. We have lived on ships and small colonies for generations. The seed can make our world whole again. Jack thought carefully about his next words. The seed has been changing Earth for thousands of years. It's connected to everything here now. If you try to remove it, Keeper says the whole solar system could be destroyed. Alan smiled for the first time, but it wasn't friendly. Keeper, the jailer, of course it would say that. While Jack kept talking, Susan's voice came through on a private channel only Jack could hear. The fleet is ready. Main ships are in position around Earth. We're waiting for your orders. Jack nodded slightly to show he heard, then returned his attention to Alan. We don't have to fight. We can work together to understand the seed. Maybe find a way to use its power safely. There is nothing to understand, Alan replied. The seed is ours. You stole it. We are taking it back. He leaned forward. You have 1 hour to surrender it. After that, we will take it by force. The screen went dark as Alan cut the connection. That went well, Peter said with clear sarcasm. He's not interested in the truth, Susan added. He just wants the seed no matter the risk. Jack turned to Guardian and Keeper, whose blue and green forms floated side by side. Is there any way to remove the seed safely? To give them what they want without destroying everything? Negative, Keeper said. The seed has roots now, deep connections to Earth's core, to the life forms I have guided. Removing it would cause collapse. Linda, who had been quiet, suddenly spoke up. What, if we showed them? Let them see what the seed really is and what it's connected to? How? Jack asked. The octomorphs. They're living proof of the seed's work. If the reclaimers could see how the seed has created new life, how it's connected to everything, they would still want it, Peter argued. They don't care about Earth or the octomorphs. We don't know that, Linda insisted. They've been searching for generations. They might not understand what the seed really is now. Jack considered this. It's worth a try. Keeper, can you show us the largest octomorph settlement? Keeper changed the screens to show a coastal village larger than the one they had seen before. Hundreds of octomorphs lived there in round stone buildings. Some were fishing in the ocean. Others were working in fields of strange plants. Guardian, can you send a message to Commander Gray? Ask him to meet me at these coordinates. Tell him I want to show him something important about the seed. Is that wise? Susan asked. Going to the surface? Probably not, Jack admitted. But I'd rather try talking one more time before we start a war. Guardian sent the message. Minutes later, Alan responded, agreeing to meet with a small team on Earth's surface. He's bringing 5 soldiers, Guardian reported. Heavily armed. I'll need a team too, Jack said. Linda, you should come because you understand the octomorphs. Peter, I'll need you for security. I'll coordinate the fleet from here, Susan said, just in case things go wrong. Keeper's green form pulsed. I can create a safe viewing area near the village. The octomorphs will not be disturbed. 2 hours later, Jack, Linda, and Peter stood on a hill overlooking the octomorph village. They wore protective suits that Guardian had provided, unsure if Earth's air would be safe after so long. The sky was cloudy, but patches of blue showed through. The air smelled different than Jack remembered, sweeter, with strange scents he couldn't identify. It's beautiful, Linda said, looking at the village below. They've built a whole civilization, and they have no idea we're here, or that their world might be about to end, Peter added grimly. He carried a weapon that Guardian called a pulse rifle. A small ship appeared in the sky, descending slowly toward them. It landed about 50 meters away, and 5 figures emerged. Alan Gray led them, walking confidently toward Jack's group. His 4 soldiers spread out, weapons ready. Unlike Jack's team, Alan and his people wore no protective gear. They looked almost human, except for their completely black eyes and slightly gray skin. Commander Miller, Alan said when he reached them. This is a waste of time. We came for the seed, not to look at primitives. These primitives exist because of the seed, Linda said before Jack could respond. Keeper used the seed's power to guide their evolution. They're connected to it on a genetic level. Alan looked at the village with obvious disinterest. And? The seed is connected to all life on Earth now, Jack explained. It's been working, here for 500,000 years. It's not the same device your ancestors lost. You're trying to trick me, Alan said. The seed is a device, a technology, not some mystical force. Keeper's voice came through their communication system. I can show him. The air in front of them shimmered, and Keeper's green sphere appeared, floating between the 2 groups. Alan's soldiers raised their weapons, but Alan motioned for them to hold. The jailer shows itself, Alan said. Have you come to surrender the seed? I have come to show truth, Keeper replied. The green sphere expanded, creating a large display in the air. It showed the Earth, then zoomed in to show countless glowing points of light throughout the planet's crust, oceans, and atmosphere. The seed is everywhere now, Keeper explained. Each light is a connection point, a place where the seed's influence has spread. The image changed to show strange, twisting patterns that Jack recognized as DNA strands. The pattern is in all life on Earth now. The seed has been healing, guiding, creating for 500,000 years. Alan stared at the display. For the first time, he looked uncertain. This is not what the seed was meant to do. It was a tool for creating energy, for building worlds. It has built a world, Linda said gently. This one. Alan's face hardened again. You corrupted it, changed its purpose. We saved it, Jack countered. Your ancestors couldn't control it. We found a way to use it safely. By changing its nature completely, Alan said bitterly. The first ones would not recognize their creation. One of Alan's soldiers stepped forward and whispered something in his ear. Alan listened, then nodded. Our scientists have analyzed your friend's display, Alan said to Jack. They believe you're telling the truth about the seed's connections to this planet, but they also believe we can still extract its core, the original device, if we're careful. That's not possible, Linda argued. Keeper has explained. Alan cut her off. Keeper is a prison guard doing its job. We've waited too long to be turned away now. He looked directly at Jack. You have a choice. Help us extract the seed safely, or we'll take it by force, even if that means destroying this planet and everything on it. Jack felt a cold anger grow inside him. That's your final decision? It is. Jack nodded slowly. Then we have nothing more to talk about. He turned to Peter and Linda. Let's go. As they walked back to their transport, Alan called after them. You have 1 hour before we begin our attack. Back in Bastion Alpha, Jack rejoined Susan in the command center. Prepare the fleet, he ordered. The reclaimers won't listen. They're going to try to take the seed by force. All ships are in position, Susan reported. Waiting for your command. Jack looked at the screen showing Earth's defense fleet positioned around the planet. 7 massive carriers, 20 destroyers, and thousands of fighter drones against the 23 ships of the reclaimer fleet. Keeper, Jack said. If the reclaimers try to reach the seed, what's the worst that could happen? Keeper's green form pulsed slowly. Reality break. The seed could reshape everything within its influence. Unpredictable changes to matter, energy, time. Could it destroy the solar system? Yes. Jack took a deep breath. Then we have no choice. We have to stop them, whatever it takes. The screens showed the reclaimer fleet moving into attack formation. The battle for Earth was about to begin. The first shots of the battle came from the reclaimer fleet. Bright beams of energy streaked across space toward Earth's orbital defenses. Most missed their targets, but 3 hit one of the destroyer ships, causing it to spin out of control. They've opened fire, Susan reported from her station. Destroyer 7 is damaged but still operational. Jack stood in the command center of Bastion Alpha, watching the battle unfold on the large screens around him. Return fire. Target their weapon systems only. Earth's defense fleet responded. The orbital platforms fired first, sending pulses of blue energy toward the reclaimer ships. Then the destroyers launched waves of small, fast drones that raced toward the alien vessels. First wave of drones has reached their fleet, Peter reported. Beginning attack runs. On the screens, Jack could see hundreds of drones swarming around. The reclaimer ships. They were too small and fast for the aliens' main weapons to hit. The drones fired precisely at weapon points on the larger ships, disabling several. It's working, Susan said with hope in her voice. Their forward weapons are going offline. But the reclaimers adapted quickly. Small fighter craft poured out of their larger ships, engaging the drones in a chaotic battle. And their largest ship, Alan Gray's command vessel, pushed forward through the fighting, heading straight for Earth. They're trying to break through, Jack realized. Guardian, target the flagship with the orbital platforms. Targeting, Guardian confirmed. But they have strong shields. Conventional weapons may not penetrate. The battle continued for hours. Earth's defense systems performed better than Jack had hoped after their long sleep. 6 of the reclaimer ships were badly damaged and pulled back from the fight. But the humans had lost 3 destroyers, and many of the drones had been destroyed. Most concerning was that Alan's flagship had managed to push past the main defensive line and was now entering Earth's atmosphere, protected by 4 escort ships. "They're heading for the North Pole," Linda said, pointing to their trajectory on the map. "Why there?" Keeper's green form pulsed urgently. "That area has the thinnest crust, shortest path to the seed's core housing. They're going to drill down to it," Jack realized. "We need to stop them before they reach the surface." "The carriers are too far away," Susan said. "They won't get there in time." Jack made a quick decision. "Guardian, is there a way to reach the North Pole from Bastion Alpha?" "There is a transport tube system that connects all major defense installations. It can take you to the Arctic base in approximately 17 minutes. Get it ready, I'm going there with Peter." Jack turned to Susan and Linda. "Susan, you stay here and coordinate the space battle. Linda, keep working with Keeper to find a way to protect the seed." 20 minutes later, Jack and Peter arrived at the Arctic base. It had been hidden under ice for 500,000 years, but now the ice was melting as the Reclaimer flagship hovered above, firing energy beams into the ground. "They're already drilling," Peter said as they watched through the base's periscope. "The ice is gone and they're cutting through the rock now." Jack checked the weapons available at the base. "We have surface-to-air missiles and energy cannons. Let's use them all." The base's defenses activated, firing at the Reclaimer flagship. The ship's shields glowed as they absorbed the attacks, but some got through, causing damage to its lower sections. The ship stopped drilling and turned its weapons toward the base. "Take cover!" Jack shouted as the flagship fired. The whole base shook as energy beams hit it. Alarms sounded, and parts of the ceiling collapsed. "Base integrity at 40%, Guardian reported. Further direct hits will cause complete structural failure." "The missiles didn't do enough damage," Peter said. "Their shields are too strong." Jack thought quickly. "What about the drones? Do we have any here?" "Arctic base contains a drone manufacturing facility," Guardian confirmed. 200 units are ready for deployment. Launch them all. Target the ship's drilling equipment." The drones shot out from hidden doors around the base, flying toward the flagship. They were smaller than the ones used in space, designed for atmosphere. They moved incredibly fast, darting around the energy beams the ship fired at them. The drones reached the flagship and concentrated their attack on the drilling laser on its underside. Their combined firepower finally broke through the shields in that area, and the drilling equipment began to spark and smoke. "It's working," Peter exclaimed, but then a new sound filled the air, a deep rumbling that seemed to come from everywhere at once. The ground beneath the base began to shake violently. "Seismic activity increasing," Guardian reported. "The drilling has destabilized the area." On their screens, they could see new data from Keeper. The seed's energy readings were spiking dangerously. The drill must have damaged one of the seed's connection points, Jack realized. "Keeper, what's happening?" Keeper's voice sounded strained. "Containment failing. The seed is reacting to the attack. It perceives a threat and is defending itself." Outside, strange lights began to appear in the sky. Not the aurora borealis, but shifting patterns of green and blue energy that spread like cracks across the atmosphere. "What are those?" Peter asked. "The seed is changing local reality," Keeper explained. "It will continue to spread unless containment is restored." Linda's voice came through their communication link. "Jack, the seed's energy is going crazy. It's affecting everything connected to it. The octomorphs, the plants, even the planet's core." The rumbling grew louder and the base shook harder. Through the periscope, Jack saw that the Reclaimer flagship was also in trouble. The reality fractures in the sky were spreading across its hull, causing parts of it to change in strange ways. Metal turning to crystal, then to something else entirely. Alan Gray's face appeared on their communication screen. He looked afraid for the first time. "What have you done? What is happening to my ship?" "It's the seed," Jack told him. "It's defending itself. We tried to warn you this would happen." "How do we stop it?" Alan demanded. "Keeper, is there a way?" Jack asked. "One possibility. The seed's primary housing at Earth's core must be stabilized. Someone must go there and manually reset the containment field." "How?" "That's thousands of miles beneath us." There is a direct access shaft from this base, Guardian said, built for emergency intervention. But the journey would be dangerous, especially now. Jack looked at Peter, then back at the screen showing Alan's frightened face, then at the reality fractures spreading across the sky. I'll go, he said firmly. Jack, no, Linda protested through the communication link. The pressures at that depth would crush you instantly. I'll use one of the pressure suits, Jack said. Guardian says they were designed for deep Earth exploration. Even if you reach the core housing, manually resetting the containment field would expose you to raw seed energy, Keeper warned. No biological form could survive that. Jack closed his eyes for a moment. If I don't go, everyone dies anyway. The seed will keep spreading its effects until the whole solar system is changed or destroyed. Without waiting for more arguments, Jack headed to the equipment room and began putting on one of the special pressure suits Guardian had identified. Peter helped him, looking grim. There has to be another way, Peter said. If you find one, let me know before I reach the bottom, Jack replied with a small smile. Fully suited, Jack made his way to the access shaft, a small tube barely big enough for one person that plunged straight down into darkness. Guardian had activated lights along its length, but they only extended a short way before being swallowed by the depths. The descent will take approximately 47 minutes, Guardian informed him. I will guide you. Jack stepped into the small elevator platform at the top of the shaft. Take care of them, he said to Peter, and tell Susan and Linda. Tell them it was worth waking up for this, to help save Earth one more time. As the platform began to descend rapidly into the Earth, Jack saw on his suit's display that the reality fractures were spreading faster. He might not have 47 minutes, but as the darkness closed around him and the weight of an entire world pressed in from all sides, Jack Miller felt strangely at peace. 500,000 years after humanity had left, one human was going to the heart of Earth to save it.